All right. Hi, welcome. Welcome. I'm so glad you're here with me today. And let me just ask you, do you ever feel like your brain just needs a little more attention physically and mentally? Well, I want you to know today, think about this. Your brain is the control center of your body. It controls your thoughts, your memory, your emotions, your touch, your motor skills, your vision, your breathing, your temperature. It controls your hunger and every process that regulates our bodies. So I would say it definitely needs a little love. Okay. So, what kind of things can we be doing to help in this department? I'm glad you asked, because, and I'm so glad that you're joining me today because we're going to talk about some ways to support your brain, this amazing organ. And I want you to know that today, starting this month, I'm going to be giving away a 5 milliliter bottle of Clarity. I'm going to put a little Clarity on because to really help me today, lots of things are going on, and just adding a little bit here just really kind of helps me to be clear. And you're gonna love this oil. So if you want to be in the drawing for this oil, make sure you're registered for this class, whether you're listening to it in the real time or whether you're listening to the replay. Just make sure you've gone to Naturally Nozella and you've registered, and I'll announce the winner next week, next Wednesday. Okay, so welcome. Here you are at Wellness Wednesday and Lunch and Learn. We're going to be talking about 7 ways to love your brain. And I'm Dr. Nozella. I'm a doctor of education, and I'm super passionate about empowering others to achieve the quality of life that I believe they deserve. Professionally, I'm a nutrition educator, I'm a professor, a writer, a speaker, a researcher, and a consultant. And teaching is my passion. But like most women, I struggle to live a balanced life. One thing that I have learned over all these years is that I have to be very, very intentional, even protective about taking care of me. And that means taking good care of my body. I have to invest in myself because I believe my body is the temple of God. We only get one. Okay. I believe in being very proactive to support our bodies because I believe the body was designed to heal itself. We've heard so many things about how our brain function declines with age. We've heard about with people that struggle with brain fog and dementia and even Alzheimer's, and it can be really, really scary. Dementia runs in my family, but rather than succumbing to the fear of it all, I've done some research and we've discovered some ways that people can be proactive about their brain health. And so that's why today I want to share just 7 quick things that we can do that I've gleaned from some research to protect your brain health. Now, first, I do want to explain that what I'm sharing is not intended to replace the advice of your healthcare provider or to diagnose, to treat, prevent, or cure any disease. I'm a doctor of education, and this is intended for educational purposes only. As I said, I am passionate about empowering you to have all the resources and information that are available to you so you can make the best decision for your life. So, hey, let's get started. First of all, our brains need fuel to function optimally, but not just any kind of fuel. We know that it needs proper fuel. Our brains need food that are rich in antioxidants, healthy fats, vitamins, and minerals. And unfortunately, a few years back, there was a time when it was very popular to have no fat diets. And it was a fad. And researchers discovered that actually we need good fats. It's necessary to deliver the good nutrients to our brains. So now we know that the healthy fats, the vitamins, and minerals are all necessary. And they haven't even discovered all of those. That's why having the food is so important. These things provide the brain with energy and protection, as well as support a healthy gut and inflammation response. A healthy gut means that the hormones and the neurotransmitters that affect your cognitive function are working properly, and that cycle can operate the way that it should. So I really encourage you to try to incorporate foods into your diet, like, let's say, avocados, beets, blueberries, other berries like strawberries or blackberries, raspberries. It's a good idea to have bone broth, broccoli, the cruciferous vegetables like cauliflower, kale, and Brussels sprouts, celery, coconut oil, dark chocolate, hey, egg yolks, extra virgin olive oil, green leafy vegetables, rosemary, and other herbs. Salmon's good, turmeric, walnuts, and all kinds of nuts. Variety is really important. And the closer the food is to God's design, the healthier it's going to be for you. Try adding one new food a week to your diet. And also try preparing a food that you thought you didn't like in a different way. One of the things that we learned is that it might take 7 times of trying a new food before you really like it. So be adventuresome and love your brain. Now, the second thing is regular cardiovascular exercise, because we know that it increases your heart rate and it increases the blood flow to the brain and the rest of the body. According to a recent study, individuals that were highly physically active, they showed 38% less risk of cognitive decline. And those that did just low to moderate level exercise, they also showed a significantly 35% reduced risk. So don't be afraid to break a sweat. It's so good for your brain. But the key is just please, whatever you do, just move, okay? I'm gonna tell you, it's okay to start slow. If you've been sitting a lot and you kind of have struggles with your muscles hurting sometime, just do some stretches while you're sitting. Start with just neck rolls and the stretches, and try just sitting in your chair and running in place, kicking your legs while you're sitting there. Try just cheering sometime and dancing around. All that is really good for movement. I would suggest that you set a time and walk around maybe 10 minutes every hour, especially if you sit around all day. Do you know that we've discovered that 3 10-minute segments of exercise has shown to be very effective, in many cases more effective than doing your 30 minutes of exercise all at one time. So don't be afraid to start slow, but just be consistent. They recommend that you get about 30 minutes a day, most days, for at least 5 days a week, and you can do it. Now, the third thing I want to talk about is just how important it is to really challenge your mind. And I'm looking at we talk about exercising the physical body, but sometimes we get to think about how important it is to exercise that mind. And research has shown that challenging your mind in this way can really boost your memory, it can boost your concentration and your focus, and it can even make your daily tasks seem to go quicker and easier if you make it a regular thing. So what kind of activities can you do? Hey, think about it. You can do a jigsaw puzzle. You can do crossword puzzles. You can do Sudoku. The new game that's online, Wordles, are really great. Or if you like to get a group together, do card games, solitaire, bridge, rummy, poker. And you can even do these on your phone now. So you don't have to be at someone's house to do it. Another way to challenge your mind is to play an instrument. And say you don't know how to play, but you've always wanted to. Now you can get a video online, go to YouTube, or learn a new language. And you can do that with YouTube as well. We've also discovered that just reading a book or two is very helpful. Research shows that it strengthens your brain by improving your connectivity. So I know you've probably heard that the brain shrinks with age, and that's another myth. We have now learned that the brain makes new brain cells as you start to learn things. And so your brain continues to grow as you continue to learn and challenge it. And I think that is just really great news. We call it neuroplasticity. I won't get into the technical part of it, but just know your brain doesn't have to shrink like people had said before. Now, you can absolutely use essential oils to love your brain. First of all, let me share that these amazing oils are very, very special because Our sense of smell is the only one of the senses that connects directly to the limbic system, okay? The emotional control system of your brain. And this system supports things like your behavior, your motivation, and your long-term memory and emotions. It's even connected to parts of the brain that connect your hormones, your blood pressure, your breathing, and your stress. Okay, so grab those essential oils, definitely from Young Living, and use them. Diffuse them or apply them topically or inhale them. Here are just a few I want to just share with you that we have found helpful, some singles and some blends. Peppermint, an all-time favorite, is really purifying, but it's also very stimulating to the conscious mind. Rosemary is another one. It creates kind of this environment of conducive. It makes you want to work and to study. Clarity is a blend. It has over, I think, almost 10 different oils in it, and it promotes feelings of stability, focus, and a sense of production. And remember, I said this is one that I'll be giving away next week, so make sure that you are registered so that we can put you into the drawing. Now, another favorite is Brain Power. Brain Power has about 6 different oils in it, and it creates clarity and a feeling of stability and an environment, again, that really makes it easy for you to do your work and do your study and to concentrate. And then many people really, really like M-Grain. M-Grain has an atmosphere that's really conducive to kind of releasing tension and some of the daily stressors. So people really like using it when they're just under a lot of stress during the day. And then we have also Genuous, and Genuous is really a kid scent one, but I have learned that the kid scent ones are really fun to use as an adult, mainly because they already include a carrier oil in them, and so they're very easy to just apply immediately. But this one has Genuous promotes an atmosphere of inspiration, productivity, and positivity. And if you've got children around, it's one you definitely want to have with you when you're helping them with studying and concentrating and just being able to settle down a little bit. It's just great for that. And then there's Common Sense, and it promotes just this feeling of clarity and a feeling of stability. So if you're feeling a little bit overwhelmed, I really recommend, that you go to my website, and I would just be happy. I would love to do a personal assessment with you, and we can kind of determine which oils would work best with your system. It's really, really easy to do. And it just is an easy way to get you started as you're moving along with the oils. Now, I do want to just pause here a minute while we're talking about using essential oils and tell you that not all essential oils are created equal. Today, we're talking about oils that are totally from the plant. There's nothing synthetic in them. They're not made in a lab. And when you shop with Young Living, you're getting the quality of the product backed by seed to seal. You know exactly what's in that bottle, okay? And that's important. And you can expect that Young Living will provide you with only the best. It's a legacy company. It actually is the company that founded the modern essential oil movement. And so we can really trust it. But there's other things that are really important, like our oils, the plant material that is always grown on corporately owned farms, or the farms that do grow them are carefully vetted so that you can even visit those farms and see how the farm practices are operating. They always use sustainable farming and sourcing practices, and that allows us to have the purest oil. And they take great care to preserve and to protect the natural resources. All the farms and fields are hand weeded, so there's zero use of pesticides. The oils that that are done this way, that allows them to retain all of their natural constituents and their therapeutic properties. That's really special. And then they use a low pressure and a low temperature distillation process And they don't use any solvents or any synthetics to get, to kind of stretch the oils. So you're really, again, getting the maximum constituents from that oil. And then there's rigorous testing on each batch, even from their own internal labs and from third-party facilities. And the oils then, again, are carefully reviewed through every step of the production process. And they have standards that are higher than even the organic standards. And the best part about it that I really like is that if an oil doesn't meet their standards, they reject it. You might find that you're out of an oil because they would rather you be out of it than to sell you an inferior oil. Keep in mind, you can use the oils 3 ways. You can use them aromatically with a diffuser, or just rub oil in your hand, do the scent tint, easy to use it that way. You can put it on topically, just apply it directly to the skin. If you're new to oils, then you might want to use a carrier oil like a coconut oil or olive oil or almond oil, and then put a drop on. Try it there first. If you ever get it in a sensitive part of your body, like your eye or ear, use an oil right on top of that, and that will kind of give you quick relief. Don't ever use water when you have an oil that you put in a sensitive area. And then remember, we have oils that you can take internally. We have the vitality oils that have the white labels. Now, the white labeled oils, and if there's a white labeled oil and a solid labeled oil, it's the same oil inside the bottle, but we want to make sure you know which oils can be taken internally. And so look for those white labels, the vitality oils, if you're going to take it internally. Okay, let's move on to our last 2 tips. We've talked about eat brain food. We've talked about break the sweat. We've talked about challenge your brain. And we talked about use essential oils. Next, we want to talk a little bit about supplements. Ideally, you would get all the nutrients that you need to support your brain from the food and drinks you ingest. When I first started studying nutrition some 30 years ago, that's what they told us. But now we know it's really not practical for anybody, mainly because the agricultural practices today don't yield us the same quality of nutrients that they did many years ago. And also our lifestyle doesn't allow us to eat food with the highest nutrient content. So you might consider adding some quality supplements to your daily routine. Young Living has plenty to offer in this department. Plus, what I really like about them is they have found that essential oil infusion into the supplements helps them to be more bioavailable, makes them more powerful. And here's just a few supplements that you might want to consider. MindWise is one that I love. It supports cognitive health because it uses coenzyme Q10, ALCR, GPC, has turmeric, fruit, and premium essential oils. And I'll just say here, one of the things I also like is exactly what's in every supplement that Young Living is using. So if there's anything you're sensitive to, you will know that there won't be any surprises. And then, of course, we can't go on without talking about Nature Red. Have whole classes on this, but it's an antioxidant wolfberry drink that provides that nutrient infusion for whole body support. It's a whole food beverage packed with nutrients. Definitely going to benefit your brain. And then Omega Gize combines the power of omega-3 fatty acids. It combines vitamin D3 and coenzyme Q10 along with essential oils to support that normal brain function. There's Ningxia Nitro. It's that delicious wolfberry drink that increases your cognitive alertness and it really enhances mental fitness. I love it. It doesn't do some of the other things like making you jittery because it's very, very natural in the way that it works. Then Master Formula is a full spectrum supplement that provides vitamins and minerals that supports your brain function. I love this one because it's a synergistic advanced nutrient complex. It offers a combination of premium vitamins, minerals, and food-based nutrients, and the ingredients provide support for the whole body. It helps to neutralize free radicals in the body, and it supports your gut flora. And it's done in such a way that it is absorbed in the body in a bioavailable way so that the body is getting the nutrients that you plan for it to get. Many vitamins and things on the market just go straight through. I'm sure you heard a lot about that because they really aren't designed for your body to have the uptake and them to be bioavailable. So you want to be careful with that when you're getting supplements. And then lastly, I'll just mention Super B because it's a comprehensive B vitamin supplement that supports the healthy mood and the cognitive function. And it's also a natural antioxidant. And if you're listening to this at this time right now, then this is also one that is free if you're on the loyalty program. So you can be looking for that as well. But I really recommend that all women be on the Super B. And then 6, when keeping brain health at the forefront of your mind, you must definitely want to do your best to get your proper rest. Sleep deprivation or non-restorative sleep, either one, have quite a negative impact on your cognitive functioning. Things like your memory, your judgment impairment, your mood swings, your headaches, your clumsiness. There is so much more research on this now. When you are sleep deprived, you can actually overexert a portion of your brain that can impair things like your concentration, your alertness, and your coordination. And the research is now showing that everyone needs 7 to 9 hours of sleep, with 7 being the optimum. I know that many have been told that whatever your bottle settles in, that's what's normal and that's fine for your body. But the research is showing that during sleep, your body is restoring and renewing itself. And when you are not getting enough sleep, you're not serving your brain health well. So it's really important to look for ways that you can ensure that you're getting enough sleep. I'm going to give you just a few suggestions. Again, this is something you may want to do personal consultation with me. Look at my website. I'd love to talk with you more about this personally, about your needs. But first, try to get 7 to 9 hours of sleep. As I mentioned before, start with trying to set up a routine. Routine is important. Trying to find a time when you can go to bed at the same time every day and working and slowly working at that, okay? Now, also remember we talked about how important the exercise is. It's important here. Not only does the exercise increase the effectiveness of your sleep, it can also help you to release tension and stress. You don't want to do strenuous exercise like an hour before you're going to go to bed, but doing things like stretching and yoga and Pilates, those also help you kind of de-stress. And then you want to try to spend time without the screens, without technology. We know that the EMF rays are interfering with people's rest nowadays. Meditation is so important. And I'd recommend it, if you haven't tried it at all, to really look at something like the relaxation response, where you're learning to just quiet your body and your system for just 10 minutes. Practicing breathing techniques, yoga has a lot of these, but they settle the body down. Something like restorative yoga, we know now is able to train your nervous system to relax, which is key with reducing stress and allowing your body to settle down a little bit, which is so crucial for your brain health. So look for just 1 or 2 things that you can do to begin to get a better rest for you. It's so important. And then lastly, not only does the physical health of your brain matter, but the emotional health of your brain matters an awful lot. Things like depression can actually lead to an impaired brain function, learning, memory, and attention. Things like emotions like grief that we don't always address can really affect your brain function. It can even reduce the speed at which your brain processes information, and it can lead to other things like poor psychosocial skills. Okay, and we don't want that. So you'll remember in my stress, rest, and sadness class, which you can request the replay, I discussed the role of essential oils in promoting those healthy emotions. However, I do want to caution you: don't try to fix something like depression on your own. Really seek help from others, ideally from a licensed healthcare professional. There's also the Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration. They have some really great places, resources that would be helpful for you. It's so important to love your brain, to love yourself, and to realize if you need help, to seek that out. Again, I would love to help guide and you through your journey. So be sure to get your personalized scan if you would like to do that with me. Before we close, I just want to review the 7 tips. Eat your brain food, break a sweat, challenge your brain, use essential oils, implement quality supplements, and rest and de-stress. You know, I've mentioned several essential oils and supplements from Young Living that I think your brain would just love. So if you're interested in that, there's a very cost-effective way for you to get them. You can go to my website, naturallynozella.com, and just shop, or take a picture of this QR code. It'll take you right to the website. If someone else invited you today, go to youngliving.com and hit shop again, but make sure that you type in their referral number. They blessed you, and it'd be great to bless them. But I just want to let you know, you can also unlock the 24% discount by placing any item on our loyalty program. Or you can break that unlock that 24% discount by making an order of 100 PV. And that'll unlock it for the entire year without you even making any other purchases. Again, if you would like a personalized wellness plan and where I can consult with you, I offer the Zyto Wellness Scan. It's a $50 value right now. You can get it for only $10. Use the code Summer Special, and I would love to help work with you as you make your journey through your health goals. There. Now, just before we leave, I do want to remind you, I have a special giveaway. I'm going to be giving away the 5 milliliter bottle of Clarity to someone that is either on the call or is listening to the replay, to anyone that has registered for our Lunch and Learn. So make sure that you have registered if you're on with me today. Again, I want to thank you for joining me. I want you to love your brain. Pick at least one thing that you can begin doing now that will help you move closer to having that healthier brain. And so you can enjoy all of its benefits for many, many, many years to come. You so much deserve that. Thank you again, everyone, and have a great, great, great Wednesday. Hi, everyone. I'll be happy to stay on. I know many of you have a real short time that you can be with us, and I appreciate you spending your lunch with me. But I'm happy to stay on and answer any questions, or you can put your questions in the chat and I will get back with you.
I think you're still recording though.
Oh, you're right.